Thank you so much, Billy, for being here. I am excited, really excited to hear how you're doing, to hear how business has been going since we've last spoken, and obviously for you to share with everyone what it's like going through the program. So let's start. Do you want to take about like 30 seconds to just give people a quick overview of exactly who you are and what you do?
I'm Billy, and I'm the host of Unlock Your Child's Full Potential podcast. I'm a mom of three girls, and I'm looking for answers. I'm looking for ways to fill the gaps left by the school system and teach my kids the lessons that are going to prepare them for real life. I want to learn practical ways I can use to raise capable and confident young people who are kind, caring, and authentic. And because I don't want to leave that to the environment to decide who my kids become, I want to coach my kids for success. And this is my idea behind the podcast, to talk to as many parents, educators, experts, you name it, and look for the universal principles, the lessons that I need to teach my kids to give them a head start in life. And in the meantime, help other parents like me do the same.
I absolutely love that because I feel like so many parents just like complain about the school system and like they have all these opinions, but they don't actually do anything about it. And you're on it. You're not just like reading one or two books. You're all like start a whole podcast, start a whole business, help other people with it. I'm curious what made you get like super passionate about it? I'm like, we need to do better for our girls, for our kids in general.
Because I realized if I had known some of the things I learn now in my late 30s, I would be so much further ahead. So I want to give that to my kids and other young people in their generation. So the personal development practices or meditation or just teaching them about personal finance, stuff that everyone should know, but are not, sometimes are overlooked at school. So these are all things I'm aware of, but I could have some blind spots. So that's why I like to learn from other parents and educators about other practices at work.
Super cool. So, what would you say is one of like the favorite things that you've learned from an expert and you've been able to implement it with your kids?
One of the most important things I realized is that in order to have the opportunity to support your kids and for them to be coming to you for advice, you have to build a trusting relationship with them. So you could be an expert in all kinds of areas, but if they don't come to you, if they don't listen to you, then you're not able to help them. So consciously working on your relationship with your kids early on, so you're able to be prepared when the hard times come, when the teen years come. So this is my passion right now.
I love that. How old are your girls, real quick?
They're 10, 8, and 5.
So do you feel like you're coming to the edge of it, like teenage years?
Yeah, I can already feel it with my oldest one.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I'm feeling the difference because I'm implementing some of the tools I've learned. So I'm good now. I feel I'm doing the preparation right.
Wow. Yes, I know the teenage years are coming and like so many parents are like scared of it and they're just like, what's gonna be? And you're like, I feel prepared. Like I know what to do.
Yeah.
Like I know it's gonna work out. I know it's gonna be all good. Yes, there's gonna be challenges and yes, raising kids has all those ups and downs, but like I'm good. Like I'm really confident in that and I love that. I love that so much. What would you say is on the business side? Like, how are you helping people and how are you being able to build your business besides for the podcast, to really help parents with this?
I'm really in the early stages of my business. I'm in the process of creating an online course about building that trusting relationship with our kids. Should I talk about some of the strategies I've used from the Rewired Your Brain?
Ah, I'd love that. Yeah, so let me just quick give introduction to everyone about that. Billy was part of our previous cohort. Then it was called Rewire Your Brain. Currently, we switched the name to Optimize Your Brain, but it's essentially the same exact thing.
Okay.
But I absolutely loved Billy, what she's been able to bring to the group and how much change that she's had that I wanted you all to hear what happened actually. So Billy now, yes, now back to what you were saying.
Okay, so what I really loved is the strategy of zooming out. I'm really sometimes focused on the details of my work, like all the nice content, posts in Instagram, etc. And I sometimes get lost in those details and forget about the big picture. So zooming out has been helpful, just reminding me why I'm doing this in the first place. And it actually keeps me excited and moving forward, because otherwise you can get so lost. So this one is one of my favorite strategies.
Again, I'm just going to add to that before you go on. Zooming out, just for people who don't know, is basically to zoom out and look at the whole picture and what you're doing. And this is where people get bored, or people give up, or people get frustrated because they're like, I don't like this specific task. But just like Billy said, that if you zoom out and you see like, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of it? Do I like my work in general? Like, I don't like every single task that I have to do, but I do like the fact that I get to help people optimize their brain and improve their cognitive functions. And so even if there's a specific task that I don't like, if you zoom out on it, it makes it a whole lot easier. So if you are getting frustrated with a specific task, take that moment to zoom out and figure out what is actually going on here. Amazing. Okay, so we have zooming out. What else have we got?
Another one is take your time to think about what you're doing and create a system behind it. Because in our businesses, we usually have those repetitive tasks that if we create a system like an SOP and then just follow that every time, it's so much faster. And you can delegate it to someone else because you already know all the steps that have to be followed. So I love this one. Every podcast episode that I have going out, I open my Google document and just follow the steps I have to take. No need to think that over and
I
over.
absolutely love that. I love that so much because I know how much brain space it saves, how much time it saves, and like you said, you could delegate it out. Here's the cool part. I've never told Billy what to put in that Google Doc. I didn't give her a podcast SOP and tell her this is what a good SOP looks like. None of it. By improving cognitive functions, by going through the program, she's able to do it naturally. So she doesn't need me anymore. She can now, wherever her business goes, no matter how fast it blows up or how awesome things are and how many other programs she has into her business, it's really easy for her to create an SOP without coming back and being like, Esty, I don't know what to do here. I need to like download another template from Pinterest to be able to figure out what to do. That makes me so happy, Billy. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, that helped a lot. And what I also love is that I can teach some of these things to my kids as well, because that's an area I'm really passionate about. So I took some of those thinking skills and strategies and I taught them to my kids. That has been a game changer as well. For example, the process of mediation, asking them questions instead of telling them what to do. I really loved when my 8-year-old daughter came to me with a question about her homework. And I didn't solve the problem and explain it to her, but I rather ask some questions, guiding her through the steps that could get her to the finish line. And she was so proud at the end because she figured it out by herself. And otherwise, if I wasn't a participant in your program, I wouldn't have done that. I think that was a weakness that I had, but right now I'm very aware of that.
Yeah, got really, really good at mediation over the 90 days we've worked together. And like you said, it works with everyone afterwards. So you're now working with your kids. And I know that as soon as I don't know what your plan is with business, if you want to afterwards do coaching or only stay more like in the digital with like courses and stuff. But when you do have clients and you deal with them, you now have the skill to deal with them. And it will be, you'll get that same benefit that your daughters are getting from you now. And everyone else that comes in contact with you now actually benefits from that. So that makes me so happy.
Yay, me too. And another thing that I love during the program is just seeing how different other people's brains work, because we are solving the same problem and then they have a different approach and they draw entirely different conclusions from the whole thing. So that was very interesting as well.
Yeah, it's just fascinating, right? So I've been doing this close to a decade now, right? And it's people with all different backgrounds and all different ages. And it's super cool. Like you said, like you just see how time and time again, people just approach it differently and have different perspectives that you've never seen before. And it's just absolutely fascinating. And I know right now you're currently on working on building your course. Is there anything specific that you've taken from the program to help you with building your course or just with in general in business?
Exercising self-control. I think that's also in general and in my business, but I could get very overwhelmed by the amount of tasks I have to complete. So realizing that I am exercising self-control and stopping like, okay, I'm doing just one thing right now. I'm not thinking about all the rest I have to do today. So this was very helpful and keeps me moving forward because otherwise I could just say, oh no, it's too much. It's not for me. I can do that. So this was very helpful.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, and instead of like getting stuck in analysis paralysis, it's actually moving forward. What would you say is something surprising about like or something that you didn't expect part of the program?
I was surprised how entertaining it is. I really had a lot of fun and was excited to join the call every time. So I love the puzzles. I loved talking with the group about what we see, what we think about it. So that was a nice surprise.
Oh,
I
I
really
know, right?
enjoyed
It's fun.
it.
It's like not just like another coaching call, like you're actually doing stuff and it's challenging your brain. Like I say, those thoughts are addicting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back a moment to your program. When you're in your course that you're building now, what are some specific things that you are adding in there for people to really build trust and really build good relationships with their children?
They need to remember that we have to treat them as equal. I so often see just orders. We give orders all the time and we don't even realize it. And how would we feel if we were in their place? So a little tweaks we can make in our approach that go a long way is just how form our sentences. We can ask questions instead of giving orders. Also, when we make a mistake, because we inevitably will, we can just go back and apologize, do something nice to our for our kids so they feel we are truly sorry. We're not just saying sorry. I have a cheat sheet of 10 communication mistakes we often make and what to do instead. And I think it's just awareness. People are not aware of that. And if they know, and they'll do much better.
So where can people this cheat sheet of mistakes so that way they stop making them?
The link is unlockyourchildsfullpotential.com/cheat sheet.
Amazing. So unlock your child's full potential / cheat sheet. I will put that link below so people could go ahead and find it. And I know your everything is unlock your child's full potential. Is that including like your podcast and Instagram? Um
Yes, everything's
yeah,
there.
everything's there. Amazing. Okay. Now before I let you go, what is one controversial thing that you believe in?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure if that's controversial, but I believe that good things happen to good people. So if we focus to the just good in the world, we'll be happy and good things will come to us as well.
I'm going to ask you on that. Do you think that bad things could happen to good people also?
Yes, they could, but there's a reason behind it. There's a lesson we should learn. So I do believe, though, that the good things will be more than the bad things.
Okay,
So,
okay. So it's more, it's like there's two things that I'm taking away from this. Correct me if I'm wrong. One, if it looks like a bad thing, right? Like a family member gets sick or something like that, then it's really like it's for a good reason. We may just not know the reason. That's one I'm taking away. And two is there is more good. Good people do have more good than they do have bad.
yeah, I do believe in that.
Related to that as a lot of it is like what you focus on is what you get more of. So, right, like if we focus on that good, then you most definitely will get more of that good. So, thank you so much, Billy. It was so good to get to speak to you again. And I love hearing how, even though it's been some time since the program, like you're still doing everything. It's not like you've all of a sudden forgot about it or like stopped taking medication and now it didn't work anymore. And it's like it's still helping you. I'm so happy. And also because I know that it's going to help you for the rest of your life afterwards. So thank you so much for taking the time to share with us today. And I am looking forward to your course when that comes out.
Yay. Thank you, Esti. It was such a pleasure for me too.